3 months ago, I made a video about an article pertaining to pushing white people in the street in order to fight white supremacy. If you're a black person, me, you probably know that white people will not make any room for you when you're walking on the sidewalk, no matter what. In the United States, white supremacy is everywhere, especially the sidewalks. Sure, we focused a lot on decolonizing our minds, but what about decolonizing the pedestrian paths that help us get around our cities? That's why instead of bumping into the sides of buildings or being forced into fire hydrants, I've decided to decolonize the sidewalk by pushing every white person in my path out of my way and into the street. Why would you do that? One of the white women asked, but I was too busy ignoring them and carrying on with my own life to pay them any attention, which actually should have been pretty relatable to them. They don't know you. How could you sit there and act as if they're paying attention to your life when they're probably thinking of something else as a group of people trying to make their next move? Why are you putting your hands on other people just because you're not getting some reaction that you want? Why are you justifying your bad behavior with white people don't care about people of color, so I could just mosey on about my day? Not alone I just pushed somebody to the ground and they're asking me why I would do such a thing. I'm just the lunatic fighting for black lives because I obviously know everything. And everybody caught on that the article was 100% parody. And what did I tell all of you? Stupid people think parody is real. And you called me a madman. You called me insane. You claimed I didn't know what I was talking about. You said I was losing my credibility. But lo and behold, stupid people have come up with the idea that now white people on the sidewalk are taking up space for everybody else.
I know that every person of color has been on the receiving end of this, so my video is actually more for white people actually. This is a serious question and I would like a serious answer in my comment section or a stitch. Are y'all aware that y'all often take up space with disregard for the people of color around you? If there's any confusion, I can give you guys an example. I'm from New York City. Sometimes a sidewalk is narrow to the point where there's only enough room for two modes of traffic, one going and one coming. But that has never stopped white people from walking side by side and holding hands and expecting you to either stand and wait for them to pass or walk in the street if you need to keep going. Are you guys aware that this is something that you do, or is it something that happens by accident? Because people of color are taught to be aware of how much space they're taking up at all times. So watching you guys take up space without even thinking about it is mind-blowing to a lot of us.
And you would think for just a crumb of a second that maybe this person is trying to make a bunch of people laugh. But no, that's not how these idiots work. They always want to make something out of nothing.
All of you. The question was, are you aware that you take up space with disregard to the POC around you? The walking in NYC was simply an example. Y'all are so caught up on the example. That was not the question. White women are actually one of the worst freaking culprits, and y'all are up and down in the comments swearing that it's white men. Y'all disregard the fuck out of us in public spaces, and y'all disregard our personal space on countless occasions. As a black woman, the most encounters that I've had with white people disregarding my space have been with white women, not white. And y'all are in the comments in droves, deflecting, swearing that it's white men. Y'all are just as bad as white men. Y'all swear that somehow y'all are different because y'all are women, but when it comes to white supremacy, y'all are the same.
And every single time it makes no damn sense. You mean to tell me that two married white individuals, an old man and an old woman, holding their crusty hands together, walking on the sidewalk as their knees slowly give out on them and they slowly fall into no longer using them, they are the problem for some random green, blue colored haired bastard trying to walk somewhere to get to some place? All you gotta do is say, excuse me, or move out the way, or move out the other way. Do not resort to crying about bullshit, because it don't make no sense. It don't hold no ground. It don't create no standing for you other than making me laugh, because I can't take any of this seriously. And yes, I am going to enjoy the fact that I was right. Stupid people enjoy making mountains out of nothing. Not even molehills. Absolutely nothing. And to think for just 1 second that it's only white people that do this weird thing where they hold hands, as if Asians don't do it, as if black black couples don't do it. As if anybody else doesn't do it. Oh, no. It's only those evil whites because their patriarchy has lasted the entirety of your weird lifetime of 400 years that you didn't experience being a slave. And what makes it weirder, anybody in the South who lives in the boot known as Louisiana, you know of a city called New Orleans. And in New Orleans, there's this little trend that happens at the end of February and the beginning of March called Mardi Gras. Parades, everybody's getting beads thrown at them, all this non-valuable shit being thrown. That's where I got this pink hat from. And lo and behold, it's a bunch of people standing around in the way on the sidewalk. Who could have fucking thunk it? So if you're gonna hold the same standards about bitching about the whites, bitch about everybody else too. Please, just for me, just keep it consistent, because I know you don't, and I know it's hard, and I know you want to fight the power, but honestly, you sound D-U-M-B. But thank you. You were the proof I was waiting for, to prove that even in parody, even in stupid articles that is meant to get people riled up or to make people laugh, stupid people look at it and think, yeah, that's a pretty good idea. And that's the problem.
Ago, Modern Warrior made a video talking about how he was going to try and fight systemic racism by not getting out of the way of white people on the sidewalk. Good for him. Love that idea. The same thing applies to women. So how are you fighting the patriarchy? How are you fighting the misogynistic society that we live in? And how are you practicing intersectional feminism? Taking Lance's idea, I decided to try that because I have always noticed that I will get out of the way of men as they're walking towards me on the sidewalk to let them go around. So I was in Seattle last weekend. I made an effort not to do that, and I was doing really great. But at one point, I was holding my daughter's hand. She's 3 years old, and these two white men, boys, they were like in their 20s, were coming towards us, and it was quite clear that they were just gonna run right into us until my daughter and I literally had to get in the road to get out of their way. Patriarchy.
So, the next time y'all come at me and say, I don't know what I'm talking about, or I fell for some parody, just know, I pay attention. I know what goes on. And also, one undeniable fact is this: stupid people look at anything, whether if it's comedy, satire, parody, whatever, and they start to think deep down inside it is real. And those people don't deserve to be listened to. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see y'all in the next one. Goodbye.